to the things that have. Yes, we are live. It's just few hours to 2022. Oh my gosh. It's just few hours to 2022. So who are the people who are on a 2022 mission? Let me see your hands up. If you're on a 2022 mission, can you just come out and let me see your hand? If you're on a 2022 mission, oh yeah, just drop a comment in the comment section. I know some people are on a 2022 mission. I can see Sunday Okafor. I can see some of my guys here, ASF people. You know, a lot of people on a 2022 mission. And while that is such an important thing to bear in mind, it is very important that, you know, a lot of people, you know, do this introspection, which is sitting down with yourself and asking yourself, what did I do in 2021? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? I mean, taking an inventory of your 2021 is a very important thing to do. When there's so much excitement, so much ulabalu about the new year, and a lot of people right now are joining one church service or the other, full of excitement. It is good, right? I mean, but that mood will not last you throughout the coming year. The mood will not last you throughout the new year. That mood is just, it's like like affect. What is an affect? A sudden burst of emotion. A sudden burst of emotion that does not last forever. So before you get carried away by that mood, okay, ask yourself, what did I do right in 2021? What can I do better? Who are the people who was loyal to me? Or who are the people that were just there for you in this year? That in the year 2021, who are the people who were rooting for you? Even when your dream, your idea didn't make sense, who are those people who just got your back? I mean, you need those kind of people in the coming year. You don't need so many people in your space. You just need 1 or 2 or 3 people who would root for you, who would stand by you, who would be there for you, come rain, come shine, right? And it is very important that you ask yourself, do I need to walk alone in 2022 to get closer to my destination? You see, sometimes it takes you walking alone. Yes, there's this vision 2022, right? You walking with somebody or having someone in your space. You need nobody. You don't need anybody to wake you up, to push you, to tell you to get things done. You just need you. For crying out loud, you see, we always look out for people. What will someone say? Oh, what will that person say? To hell with them, or to heaven with them. You don't need anybody's permission to be awesome, to be amazing, to be formidable. You need nobody's permission to succeed. The same way you would not need anybody's permission the day you choose to commit suicide, or the times that the suicidal thoughts will come to your head, God forbid, right? But you see, these are things that happen. These things happen to people from time to time. So you see, you would not need anyone's permission when you fall sick, or when you're not feeling well, when you have to cry, when life happens to you. Life will not ask you, life will not come and tell you, hey, Bisola Miriam, should I make you fail that exam? Should you get disappointments? I mean, life is not going to ask you. And so you should not ask anybody's permission to succeed. You should not ask anybody's permission to thrive. You should not ask anyone's permission to sit with yourself and get clear as to where God wants you to go to, or where you need to go to. You see, there's so much I've been learning of late about the law of attraction, about intuition. And you see, it is very, very important that you trust your guts. We call it guts, we call it God, we call it intuition, we call it the Spirit of God. Whatever name you call it, trust that inner voice that tells you to go even when everything looks like this does not make sense. This is not going to work out. Trust your intuition, okay? Trust your gut in this new year. You don't need anybody. You just need you. When those thoughts to commit suicide comes into your head, when those thoughts to give up, when they come into your head, no one is seeking your permission, right? And so the same way, you don't need to seek anyone's permission to succeed. You don't need to seek anybody's permission to do what will make you happy. You don't need to seek anybody's permission to fight for your dreams, to fight for your life, to fight for your mental health. You don't need anybody's permission. I'm streaming on a number of platforms, and so I might look this way or look that way, but I'm following and I'm looking at you, and I'm connecting with you wherever you're watching, whether on Facebook or Instagram. Wherever it is you're watching from, I'm here, and I'm trying to focus on you all. I mean, before I came live, a lot of thoughts came into my head, and such as, oh, people are in church, they might not be tuning in. People are, trying to join crossover service. You see, I said to myself, Bisola, I don't need a crossover night tonight. I just need to sit with myself to get clear as to the things that I've not been doing right, or the fact that I have lived the last 28 years of my life seeking, permission from people, trying to get people to affirm me, trying to get people to say, Bisola, you're doing well. Oh, Bisola Miriam, you're doing well. I mean, I've lived the last 28 years of my life trying to be a people pleaser. But when the chips are down, I realized that it was just me and the rest of the world. It was just me against, it was just myself that I needed to get things done. Let me share a couple of examples with you. When a woman gets pregnant and goes into the labor room, it is just that woman with her strength. Yes, the doctor or the midwives will say, oh yeah, push, push. I recall the day I had to give birth. I wasn't the one who impregnated myself, right? But when it was time to push the baby forth, everyone was giving me motivation here and there. But guess what? Who needed to push that baby out? Please answer in the comment section. Who has the responsibility to push the baby out? Was it me? Was it the midwife? Or was it the doctors who were with me in the hospital the day I had to give birth to a child? Please let me know what you think. Do I need someone's assistance to push the baby out? Who does the main job? Who does the job? Is it the woman who is trying to give birth, or is it the midwife? Who does the job? Who does the bulk of the work? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I want to know if you're here and you're present. Who does the job? While we're waiting for those feedbacks, only one person gets the job done. And who is that person? The one who bears the vision, the one who bears the dream. I don't want you I don't want you being caught up with this whole new year, new resolution thingy. Oh, I'm in church, crossover service. People will start posting pictures, and you also be caught up with that excitement. It is good, right? But most importantly, you need to ask yourself, what have I been doing all this while? Okay, what have I been doing? How have I been living my life? Have I been intentional, or have I just been a people pleaser? The day you sit with yourself and tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, you need nobody's permission to succeed in 2022. So it is funny that there is 22 behind the 20, you only need just one person, and that one person is you. Yes, you will set those goals. Yes, you would need the support of people here and there. But when the chips are down, you only need you. Nobody else. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your comment. Someone is commenting on Facebook. I mean, you don't need anybody. Nobody else can push the baby out beyond the person who is giving birth to that child. No one. You need nobody's permission. And the same way those ideas are in your head, you have written them down. Oh, you have a vision board. But guess what? It is just you alone, who would sit with that vision board and implement and come up with strategies on how that vision can become a reality. You don't need your husband's permission, neither do you need your wife's permission. You don't need a pastor's blessing. You don't need anybody. You just need you, because you are a God. It might sound weird, it might sound like, oh, I'm not a God, I'm just this small boy, this small girl. But you see, you have been created in the image and likeness of God. And because of that special power that you have, you don't know what you're capable of doing until you begin to unleash those heavenly given potentials. And so while there is so much excitement in the air, Vision 2022, right? Sit with yourself and say to yourself, who has been pushing me thus far? Is it me, myself, and I, or is it the world? But when you sit with yourself and really get clear, you realize that the truth of the matter is you are the only cheerleader that you need. And be that as it may, you need to then sit with yourself and take that pen and paper, take that journal and ask yourself, what are the things that I need to make manifest in this new year? What are the things that I need to make manifest in the year 2022? The bulk of the work would come from you, not from anybody else. Who is going to make that call? You. Who is going to ask for that support, for that advice, for that, for that business opportunity? Who is going to submit that paper? Who is going to call for that fund? Who is going to start that business? You. Oh, you're going to need people's help. Of course. But who is going to reach out? You. Who would throw in the towel even when you don't want to, even when, you think you can do it, and then you suddenly tell yourself, I don't want to do this anymore. It is still going to be you calling the shots. It is still going to be you. And I so much wish that many more people can come to the realization of the divine nature that they have. I really pray, and I really hope that you don't get caught up in the world, in the trend, in the ways that other people, the typical way, the typical style, the norm. I wish that you don't get caught up in the norm. I wish that you dare to stand out in this coming year, in 2022. I so much wish that you dare to be different. I so much wish that you sit with yourself and tell yourself that when the chips are down, I've got me. That when the world is against me, or when the world turns its back against me, I've got me. I want you to sit with yourself today and every day, and even in the coming year, knowing for sure that greater is he or she or whatever you believe in that is in you than he that is in the world. There's so much inside of you that God, that Eledumare has deposited in you. The world is waiting for you to unleash every of those ideas, every of that idea, every dream, everything inside of you is waiting for expression. And this world is yours to conquer. And I so much wish, I so much hope, and I so much pray that you would wake up today and every day walking into that realization, walking into that abundance that God has called you into, walking into that light. Yes, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy journey. I'm not saying you are not going to be confused sometimes. I'm not saying you are not going to cry sometimes. I'm not saying that you would not feel like throwing the towel or just giving up. I'm not saying any of that. But despite the tendency to want to give up, I'm saying to you that if you and only you can hold on there, right in those in those moments when it feels like this is not working out, I can't do this anymore. If you can just stand in there and trust in your inner man or in your inner woman and tell yourself you've got this, every day in 2022 will bring you closer to that abundance, to that life, to that joy, to that peace, and to that new life that you want to live. You see, if you get better, everything around you would get better. You don't need anyone to change for you to be a better person. You don't need to say, oh, if my wife gets better, if my husband gets better, if my boss would get better, if my teammates will get better. You just need to get better. Everything that you must look out for in 2022 is you. You getting better means that everything around you would improve, because you would attract a new set of people. You would automatically see that some people are leaving your space, not because you're sending them away, but because you are changing, and the energy you're vibrating becomes completely different from what they are used to. And so somehow they leave you, they leave your circle, they leave your network, because see, they say light would call for lights. When you change, everything around you will change. Everything will change. Everything will change. When you change, your world will change. When you stoop to conquer, everything would align. And I'm going to share a testimony with you all before I leave. But before I share that testimony, there's something that I said to myself that I was going to do in 2022. And I hope that this is something that someone watching can find useful. You see, a lot of people, create a vision board, and they do not understand the power of the power of the spoken word. And so today, I want you to take what I'm going to say. Don't take it for granted. Whether you're sure it will work out or not, there's something I want you to do, which is using the spoken word. In 2022, there's something I want you to do. Use the spoken word. Try it for the first 30 days. Just pick something small, something that is not too big for your faith level. Maybe you want to buy an iPhone, or maybe you want a paper to be published. Just something that you believe you're in doubt of, something that you're not sure would make manifest. And for the first 30 days in 2022, just keep saying on a daily basis that I want this, I want this. Even when it looks like it's not going to happen, keep saying it. Pick something that at your faith level can make manifest, and keep saying to yourself, I want this to happen. So let me give you a practical example. So for me, in the year 2022, one of the things that I want to make manifest is to be able to make a certain amount of money. It could be money for you, it could be a dream, it could be a car, it could be anything. But let it not be something that you can achieve by your power. Let it be something that is beyond human logic. Let it be something that is beyond your reasoning. If you go for something that you can do by yourself, then there's no point. There's no point. Go for something. Identify one among the many goals in 2022. Identify one thing that you intend to use to start the new year, that you're not sure whether it will happen or not. And every day as you rise, say something like, I am so happy and grateful now that I now have this. So for me, my goal is I want to make a certain amount of money. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to achieve that amount of money in the first quarter of the year, or even in the first 30 days of the coming year. But this is something I want to say I want to say every day when I wake up from tomorrow, my time, which is going to be 2022, and from midnight your time, Nigerian time or West African time, I intend to say something like, I am so happy and grateful now that I now have $10,000, blah, 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 blah. I am so happy and grateful now that I now have so and so and so. I am so happy and grateful now that I now have this, I now have that. Whatever it is that you're trusting God for, whatever it is you're trusting the universe for, as long as you're willing to say the word and commit to saying that word on a daily basis. See, I have tried this and it has worked for me. And I believe it will work for you. See, one thing you need to understand is, think about what happened in the Bible. Let there be light, and there was light. The word was spoken. There is power in the spoken word. Remember when the Bible says life and death is in the power of is in the tongue. So I'm not here to preach religion, but I'm just telling you a principle that works. Think about the things that you have said to yourself. I just pray I will not fail this exam. Many of those things that you have said using negative word or negative proclamation, if you begin to ask yourself, many of those things have actually happened to you. So what I'm teaching you in the coming year is be intentional about your spoken word. Be careful about the things you say. If you don't want something to happen, do not say it. If you want something to happen, even when you know that this does not make sense, this is not going to be possible based on your human reasoning, tell yourself every day and let the universe handle the rest. One thing you need to know is you are a God and you can create things, not just by your own ability, or by calling forth those things that are not as though they are. Because on your tongue is that power to make things happen. As I wrap up this live video, I would like to say that everything is possible. Everything is possible. You can do anything. You can be anything. You can make anything happen. The same way you can make evil things happen, the same way you can make good things happen. And as a God that you are, as God's representative on earth, one of the ways you can make him happy or her happy is to live every day of your life intentional, creating things and blessing your world with the gifts that God has deposited in you. Don't be selfish about it. Because there are 1,001 people who, when you shine forth your lights, would wake up and do the same. 1,001 people out there, they are waiting for you to make manifest the abundance that God has deposited inside of you. Even more, when you do something, you're giving someone the permission to do the same or even better. Go into 2022 knowing that you've got you and you alone to make your world the place for you to thrive, for you to make impacts, and for you to invite other people to do the same. Go into 2022 trusting your guts, trusting the Spirit of God inside of you, trusting your intuition. Go into 2022 speaking the word, even before these things happen. Speak them into manifestation. Speak them into existence. Go into 2022 believing that every obstacle, every challenge, every difficulty, every confusion, every disappointment is working together for your good. And I hope that you have an amazing 2022, because it is a wonderful year already. And 2022 made sense. God bless you. And abundance is here. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.